Good day, Commanders. Omnicai here, Soldier First Class. All right, this is pretty much just for my guild. We're going to be running through GVG defenses. I am going to take off all the artifacts off my top heroes. That way they're not like crazy overpowered, right? So everybody should be like in the realm of 95k BP to 90. So it's kind of like how we'll keep it. That way it keeps it fair. It's not too crazy, not overpowered. But that's the kind of guilds that we're going to be going against in our division anyways. So first we'll start with Hazelnutcoffee.
That's a lot of nuts!
All right, so we'll go in, do a friendly face-off. Boom, boom. Bruh, you're killing me, man. All right. Dude, you're not even geared. All right, so I guess we could talk about positionings. So your units, they're in the correct position. Like this is 9 times out of 10 what the keep's going to look like. I am assuming you don't have arrogance. Otherwise, you might be placing him like close to where Torador is. However, dude, I seen that A5 Sun Wukong in there, right? So, start using him, especially with Torador, because this is probably going to be your Nightmare comp, right? And essentially, we're going to break your teams up. So, Ajax, move him up where Hotsit is. Hotsit will go where Greed would be at. And then you would put Tallulah up top for your healer, Sun Wukong behind Torador. And you could place Sun Wukong back one more for Garnet guards. Just because you don't have like a Carnelian that I've seen, but you could use Lily, but Lily's going to be in your other team that I'm going to show you because I think it's more viable with Lily in that strat. But you can mix and match, you can play around. So for the second team, because we're just talking about positioning, there's not much there's not really much else I can do or test, right? So for this one, for your Silas team, both teams are good, but I recommend breaking them apart, and then that way you at least have one really strong team, right? So this one would probably be your main team that I would say, like after you take out Tallulah and put Lily in this comp because she's a piercer, right? So get the extra bonus, dude. Take a picture, screenshot if you need. But then I'll have like a small portion over here. So Iovar will go where Maul would be, and then Lily would be where your Tallulah is. That way you get the extra life if Garnet guards come up and then try to kill Iovar, right? Silas would go where your Iovar currently is, and then your CC Plat. Greed, your Maul could go up here, or Pelagios would probably be the better choice if you have them. So, but I know that's a hard pick, you know. Depends on how lucky you are with Ancients. But dude, HC, Hazelnutcoffee, man, you've been killing it with those Ancients though, man. You got Silas. I want not Silas, but Cyrus. I want Cyrus. However, like I was saying, since you're not geared, I can't really test it to see if it works properly the way you have it set up now. But these are my suggestions. If you want to implement them, go ahead. All right, on to the next. CakeMate. All right, this dude's been killing it, man. We picked him up, and he joined. I'm glad he joined. This lucky-ass motherfucker. He be getting soul stones like, it feels like every goddamn week. I know it's like every month at least. He has the most that I've seen pop up. Anyway, so let's talk about your plats real quick. So your piercer plat, I know we've been testing like a little bit already, like inside, like in the guild, but I would say move it up to the front because you do have an issue with like being swarmed or being overrun, right? And if it's closer to the front, it's going to be harder to swarm and set that up. It's going to take too much time to get a proper swarm going. So it's going to be harder for them to actually swarm. And then you're actually going to start attacking earlier to start killing off those enemies. Because piercers, since a lot of them are single target, not too much AoE, they're going to hit one enemy at a time. And it takes them a while to kind of kill everything. So I'll show the first GVG match in regular speed. And then I'll speed up all the other ones. So everybody gets that treatment. I'll be testing like flyers, swarming, and then I'll also have a setup. Like right now, I'm testing my I'm just trying to kill everything on the field setup and just wipe out all the tanks and the guards. So that's why Maul's out, and that's why we're doing this setup and not trying to swarm right now. So Cake, your Ajax, I don't know what the skill ups are on it. I don't know if you can like make it, you know, because once he gets skilled up, he'll be doing a lot more AoE damage. If he's not skilled up already. Hopefully he isn't, and you can get some more power out of him. Also, gear's a huge thing too, right? And then broke gear, my BP's just a little higher, so you can't really hold my Maul like that. But for most teams, I think it's going to be fine. definitely a solid plat, and you have the fundamentals right on. So I'm gonna do a swarm team next. We'll swap. I have them already set up. So this is my power team. This is the swarm team, and then we'll do the flying team next, which I really don't need to do, but I'll let you see it because piercers, they normally just eliminate anything that's flying. However, what I was gonna say, if you move up closer to the front, it's gonna be harder for the enemies to swarm you, and also like even like in that power match when I used Maul, I won't be able to set that up not that easily up front because I don't have that much time to get to you to use the fool to get the shield up. So if you're set up front, place broke here, right up here, where all the enemies are at right now, where like the healer and stuff is, at the very first tile that you can. Iovar would go up in this little corner where you have Hotsit in your other team facing down. And then the idea basically is Brokir is up high enough, so even Garnet Guards, they'll probably get 1 or 2 shots at your Iovar, but not necessarily, they probably won't kill him. And if you put like a little HP, like with substats, then get it over 25 to 30k if you can, and then you should be gravy. And then also you have to think like 9 times out of 10, the Garner Guards might take a shot at Silas anyways, and that's where you would have Lily and give the extra shields to Ajax and Silas if needed. So I would set up Lily way back here next to Ajax, drop him a tile. Just look at the little picture over here. Then Silas, Ajax there, Brokir up here in the front, and then Iovar facing down. Because even if you place Iovar where I have Silas or Ajax, the range is going to be the same regardless. So that's my recommendations, and that's going to help you with your swarm problem, and it won't give enough time. You can also set that up in the back, but since you don't have Ingrid or a lot of AoE damage, then I don't recommend it. I would push it up towards the front. All right, so we're going to be testing out your second team, your Nightmare comp, right? This is a really good comp, and I'm going to set it up in the front also. You could do this in the back, but you're using Yuri. And if you were using maybe like another fighter or another tank, then I would recommend setting it up in the back. However, I do like your setup that you have, and it is pretty difficult to get through. And for most players, I don't think they're going to be able to get through this comp, not easily at least, unless they're like well versed in GVG and they can kind of figure out how to beat it. Very solid, but I do think it can use maybe like little tweaks because Hotsit right there, I'll show you later when I do my I'ma kill it squad, and very susceptible to mages. So is Arrogance. And a strong mage, 1-2, 1-2, boom, goodbye Hotsit, right? Especially like if they're using Maul and they already have like damage going over all 3 of those people. So the mages will wipe this out if they're able to get enough kills or get enough damage going. Where with Maul, it's pretty easy to do, right? So keep Hotsit where she's at. Torador will be in front of Hotsit, so Torador will hopefully draw that fire, and then the Garner Guards would lock on to Torador, and Hotsit's invisible, so it's a little easier for the first 40 seconds. Draw him out, right? Arrogance behind Torador. I would say put him up front, like your Nightmare team. Put it up front because you're only using 2 ground units. If you're using 3, I'd place it in the back. Yuri right here in the middle, and then Carnelian would go straight across to cover everybody else. So that's my recommendations to help, with this team that you have right now with your Nightmare comp. Also, play around with it, see what you like best. When the season starts up, you can test the one you have now, and then you can kind of test mine, and we can still play around with it. We can figure it out, see what new units we get next couple weeks. But yeah, man, hey, you're doing great. You just started playing a couple months ago, and dang, man, you're killing it. Like I was saying, now we're gonna do the swarm team to see how your lineup does against it, and let's see what happens. But your team is set up to handle swarm pretty well, just because you do have some AoE and what's her name up there, Yuri. You have some AoE and Yuri. You got Hotsit and Arrogance. So I mean, swarm team should have a hard time getting through. So yeah. You're holding the line pretty well. Yeah, I think we're good to go. I think, hey, that's a dub. Good job, Cake. You got it. All right, so just to make sure, yeah, that's all of them. So you got all the swarms. Good to go. Good job, man. All right, so then we're gonna go to the kill all plat. I'll try to set it up to take out your guards and your fighters, and then try to walk through if I can. At least that's the plan. But like I was saying, like your team's pretty set. This is more just me just talking, letting you guys watch the fights, and then we'll go on to Zat. We'll give leader Zat. He's coming up after this. Maybe I should put timestamps at the beginning so you guys can skip through. All right, so we'll try to use Maul. We'll try to wipe you out. Let's go. I sent out the mages way too early, honestly. All right, so that might be a dub for you, or at least I might restart. Yeah, well, we'll see how it plays out. I only got one mage out to it, so yeah, that's not exactly how I wanted to do it. So, all right, let's restart. Cool. Alrighty, so now we'll set the full up to get coverage. Not coverage, but for Maul to get coverage from the full. So that way the full goes out first, and then I'm using the healer because it has a lower cost and it moves kind of slow. So if you use like dogs, it'll go too fast to keep the full in place. Once he's out, then we got some shields for Maul, and then Maul can go up there and handle business. But you do have a strong plat. Carnelian's just not a great healer, but she just keeps you alive. So that's why Carnelian is better overall, 9 times out of 10, other than other healers. Ezran, I think he's a really good healer too, if you have him. But a lot of people don't have him like skilled up and ready to go, just because he can like mitigate a lot of that damage. Like you can't take more than like 50% or something like that. I have to like look at his skills. But Ezran's good too. Ezran, Lily, Carnelian, best healers. So yeah, like it's just a matter of my Maul is just kind of strong. So that's a BP check, honestly. But like this is also what I was saying. If you move it up to the front, it's gonna be hard for me to set up Maul, right? Like I won't be able to get him up there with enough health and keep him up there with the full. So if you move him up front, it's gonna be a tighter window. I'd have to put down Maul first, let him get beat up a little bit, and then place the full in order to get a shield on Maul, or I'll just have to use 2 healers if you placed your lineup up front. So, yep, those are my tips, suggestions. Play around with them, see how they do. If you like them, well, test them out, utilize them, right? That's what we're doing. Cool beans. But yeah, Cake, keep going, man. Good stuff, good shit. All right, let's see. I think that's it for Cake. Zat, where you at? I think he just texted or message. Yep, here we go. Bop. Go up in here. Let's see what you're working with. Hex. Ooh. Okay. Zat, you love that Hex, man. I guess you probably have like a good you got the Karma Sutra, don't you? You probably do. Pretty sure. Anyway, so when I was looking at it, this is the plat that I kind of came up with. I would place this lineup in the back because you do have arrogance. I've seen it. I've seen it in your guild boss, right? So I would use arrogance in this plat because the more faction members you have, the higher bonus you're gonna get. So remember that, guys. If you have like a comparable plat and you have another unit, I would try to keep them together if you can. So that way you get like the Lord bonus, and then everybody else get extra stats and more of a buff. But this isn't bad. But your Sun Wukong, I know you're kind of thinking, oh, mages, I got to watch out for mages. But Lily's here, and Lily will protect Sun Wukong. And then by the time the mages hit him again, he would probably pop his ult, and then you have like that extra survivability also. But in this position, Sun Wukong's not going to do enough damage. He's not going to be able to hit enough people, only when his ult pops up. So I can easily overrun this plat just by swarming it, because Hex single target damage not doing enough, and well, he's not going to kill fast enough. And then Greed, he's just not going to do enough damage to do anything. He will take care of the air units for the most part, but slow them down. All right, because like even here, once Sun Wukong can't hit air and Torador can't hit air, you only have Hex, Greed that hits air. And watch this. I assume they're not going to be able to take them down because they can't do enough damage. Greed can slow them, but Hex doesn't have his ult up, and we can just slowly get by. Yep. So that's how you would get over like a flying team. Honestly, just wait, just pop Hex's ult, and then just swarm your flyers, and then you got past that whole plat. And also with swarms, Sun Wukong, I can build a huge swarm guaranteed, and Sun Wukong won't be able to assist or do anything in that position. So I'll restart it. I'll show you one more time because we only got 2 of the flyers in, so technically it wouldn't be a win. Sorry, Zach. I got to do it. Because now that I played with the lineup, I've seen it, and now I'm like, okay, we can just get all the flyers through as long as Hex's ult isn't popped or if it's not close to being popped. So that's what I'm showing right now. And then I'll show the swarm and then the kill all plat, see what we can do. But as I was saying, so Carnelian. So you got to mix and match this team if you want to like be more efficient, in my opinion. Or at least you can try it if you want. So Torador, put him in the back in that top position. And then Sun Wukong will go behind Torador. And then I seen that you had Arrogance. Like I was saying, I think he was A1. I'm not sure. But even then, if you have him skilled up enough, then he's going to be good. Boom, autoflies. So Arrogance will go in the far back tile. And then you can use Greed. If you have Hot Sit, I would use Hot Sit because of the Lord, because this is your Nightmare comp. So, but I guess Greed is also a Nightmare unit. So it works, but Hot Sit has a longer range. Hot Sit would go next to Arrogance on that tile, and then Carnelian from your other team would go behind your CC plat, facing up. That way it covers everybody. And that's probably the best that we got, and it should be okay against swarms if you have a CC plat or Hot Sit, and then also Arrogance for the AoE damage that he does, and he also hits air units. So should be good to go. And then you also have Sun Wukong, obviously, and Sun Wukong would murder 9 times out of 10 Maul or any other ground unit that's coming up. So those are my recommendations, my suggestions for your Nightmare comp. If you want to use it, go ahead. But yeah, here's the swarm, and because Sun Wukong was just in the back over there, he couldn't even really assist. Just his ult, and his ult only hits one target. Remember that. It doesn't swap to another one. All right, we'll do one more test for this team. My kill all plat, we'll swap to it. You have mostly magic damage. Yeah, Sun Wukong's there, but Sun Wukong can't hit anything, right? Not until I get past Torador. That's the only bad thing about it. Because it only has a 2-tile range. So the main unit that I'm worried about is going to be Hex. And since Hex is mostly he's all magic. So Hex is magic damage. I'll bring this guard, and then we're going to run it. And I'm going to run through. Maybe. We'll see. All right, so Zach, let's go. So we're going to go and pop all the alts. Get some Wukong. Yeah, sure. Everybody else gets that little extra life, but that's fine. Throw down another one. Hex alt. Wait for it to go. Maul. Sun Wukong is 9 times out of 10 gonna hit one of the guards anyway. We got the full coming up. Yep. Shield them all. And then we just wait. Bop, bop. Run through. So if Sun Wukong was right behind Torador, yeah, you have to worry about mages. But then again, like I said, you have Lily. Lily can also provide that extra life to Sun Wukong. So don't be scared to put him up a little closer. All right, if you're using Lily. So that's the only thing. Like Sun Wukong can't help Torador. So I could just go in and kill him. And then Sun Wukong sitting up. All right. Boom. Let's see. So for your piercer. So this is what I thought of for your piercer. It's going to go in the back. So so all your stuff's going to go in the back, and I know why you're putting it up here. At least this is what I'm thinking. I think that you were thinking I don't want them to swarm me, but Ingrid's a built-in swarm defense system. So even if you place them in the back, Ingrid's going to 9 times out of 10 do enough damage, especially since you have a Racha here for crowd control and for like that extra 2 blocks. If you have a strong enough Ingrid, she should wipe out all the swarms before they come all the way down that corridor, right? So I would definitely put Ingrid in the back. That's what I'm going to be doing too. Ingrid way in the back, and then we have a Racha right in front of Ingrid, and then have a space in between, and Brokir all up front. Lily would go behind Silas and facing upward to cover Silas, Aracha, and Brokir. And then also, if you have Lily on this plat, you get more of a bonus because she's a piercer, right? Sweet. So that's how I would set it up. Play around with it, say what you think. Cool. So we'll go ahead and test it. We'll run it and we'll see what happens. So 9 times. Let's see. This is my kill plat. We'll start with this first. All right, so I have like the little low-cost flyers. That way they can help pop the alts, and then we'll go in, and I'm going to try to kill that Carnelian because it's sitting right there, and we like sitting ducks. So this is a good test. So if Brokir moved up a little bit more, at least it wouldn't be like a huge target for the Garnet Guards to hit Carnelian. Like they would get a shot off, but then they would swap or be blocked by Brokir faster if you had Brokir up. But I also recommend just putting this plat in the back, like I was saying. Anyways, so let's see what happens when we run it. So here comes the Garnet Guards, and we'll see if they can take out your Carnelian. Because if you do keep this, if Brokir is up one more, then Garnet Guards wouldn't have another extra shot, I think. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. What? Oh, yeah, see? Carnelian went down. Okay, I was going to say, dang, they didn't even take another shot. But I think if Brokir is up one more, then they wouldn't continuously have that extra shot, right? Let's see. If we get through Brokir, then we can get through everything else. I'm saving Maul, and then we'll run through with Maul at the end. I just want to try to get more life out, because now Brokir can't heal, and we should be good to go right after we take out Brokir. So once these ladies take out Brokir, we'll put down Maul, and we'll just walk through. However, I'll try this again just so I can do a more optimized run, because now we can't even win because we don't have enough units. So I'll restart it, and then we'll run it back at 2 times speed. Sweet. So, but Zat, I do think your Ingrid plat, or at least your I guess this would be your Piercer plat, because you're running a Racha as a Lord. If it's set up in the back, I think it's going to do a lot better, and I think it's not going to be susceptible to swarming because you have Ingrid, right? And you have Aracha. I think she does have some AoE with crowd control. So now that I know that I can take out Carnelian with the Garnet Guards, we're going to go in. I'm using the flyers also to bait out Silas because he prioritizes air targets, so airborne units. So that's why it's also sometimes a good idea to bring them, and that way your ground units, while they're hitting a tank, you can have the little flyers just fly around, and then Silas will at least target them, especially like towards the end of his ult or like the beginning of his ult if you need like those extra hits. So that's how I would run through that plat right there. And I think you have more success if you set that up in the back set. For sure. I haven't been talking about like gearing or anything like that, but I think that's kind of, a no-brainer at this point. If you guys want me to make a video on how to like gear certain heroes, or how I would gear certain units like tanks and stuff like that, let me know, and then I'll make one, especially for like GVG, because sometimes it's a little different. But what are we doing now? We're gonna do the swarm, and even though I pretty much already know that like Ingrid, it's so hard to swarm an Ingrid team, right? But we'll give it a go just so you can see kind of what it looks like and what it does. So I'll try this twice, because right now I want to see if I can kind of run through with dogs and then just kill Aracha to see if I'm able to do that before Carnelia can put her unyielding back on Aracha. So this is also good for you guys to see, I guess, how they interact on the field, what's going on, and then make adjustments if needed. And you can also see like where your team's weak against. So this is actually really cool, at least for me. So I wasn't able to kill Aracha, but I'll try to do this at the beginning of every season if I can. So it should be easier too. So we'll go ahead and restart. I couldn't kill Aracha with the dogs, but that is an option, right? So if I just place down 2 dogs right now before she even got it, but she didn't. So she already has unyielding, so I don't even think that's viable to kill Aracha first. Because if I got rid of Aracha, then I would swarm and then just try to get past Brokir with the Necromancers. But that didn't work, so we're gonna just have to do this the old-fashioned way. And I don't even think I can do it. For one, my BP is lower because I don't have my top units in, and then also even if I did, I still don't think swarming an Ingrid team is the way to go. So it's gonna be pretty hard to do. And so you got this Zat. Pretty sure I am not able to get through. Go ahead and try to push. And nope, one more time. Let's see. Go down, go down. Nope. All right, you got this one, Zat. Good job. Good job, guild leader. Almighty. You got me. All right, cool. So it is good against swarms, like I was saying, but if swarming is your main concern, and that's why you have Ingrid placed up front right here to hit right at the spawn point, then even in the back, Ingrid's not going to be able to get swarmed like that because she'll just wipe them out before they come. They don't have enough HP, they don't have enough health, and it's just massive AoE damage. So, all right, so next up, we're going to test the flyers, and I think we already know that I can get Carnelian out, right? So here we go, real fast before she can even get unyielding on her. Bop. Nope. All right, let's try that again. All right, so we'll give it a shot, and then we'll see what we can do with the flyers. Yeah. There it is. All right, that's why. I was like, dang, man, I'm not doing enough damage. So now that I got higher BP on my Garnet Guards, then Granite Guards, Garnet Guards, however you say it, doesn't matter. All right, let's go, Zat. Let's do it. Let me light a cigarette. Anyways, so we're going to go in here before Carnelian can get her unyielding on. That's also another thing. If you had them in the back, all your units would have unyielding up, except for Ingrid. But Ingrid's going to be so far in the back that she won't even get hit. And then, boom, you can just wipe everybody out. All right, so we're going in. Place down 1. And now you can't revive or heal Brokir, so I'm not even too worried about it. Once Brokir is gone, I guess I didn't even need Brokir done, but I do want to get rid of Aracha if possible. Side's going to kill him. Oh, there we go. We got 1 down and just fly through. Yep. So that's nothing. Carnelian right up there in that spot, and if you don't have Brokir moved up, then Garnet Guards can like knock them out real quick. So just something about, or you can put more HP on your Carnelian. That's also another thing if you don't want to place your team back. So next up in line, I think it was WhiteRaven. So I'm going to do a little research on WhiteRaven because let's take a look at his team real quick. I don't think he's too familiar with like GVG or like setting him up, or he probably just doesn't care, but that's fine. But anyways, WhiteRaven, if you're watching, just set it up, let it play, and even if you don't care about GVG, yeah, there's also a gear thing too, right? So a lot of your units, they're going to be, you're not farming enough. You're not farming enough gear. I don't know what gear rage you're at, though, but like once you get past 18, don't be afraid to farm. Get some ancients, get some mythic pieces, however you say it. Yeah, mythical pieces. There it is. Boom. Get some of them. Get them on your squad. So you do have Lyra that I see. You have Pyros. Oh, look at that. You have Regulus, and you also got some Wukong, Cetrum. Cool. So we can do a decent team comp. So we're looking at most likely Infernals. They're not meta, but it will work. At least a lot better than what we have here, because this is more of a positioning issue. In my opinion, mages will wipe this whole team out. That's all you need to place. So this is what I was thinking. My bad. It looks a little confusing, but we're going to set it up front. Sorry, y'all. I didn't clean it up too much. If you have Lily or Carnelian, they're going to be your better healers. But since you do have, who is that? Aelin? I want to say Aelin, yes. But since you have Aelin, that's what we're going to use. And then it'll be set up kind of like Zat's team. So Aelin in the back, and then you would have Ajax right here in front of Aelin, Sun Wukong, Torador, and then in that corner tile, try to find like a CC plat or another ranged fighter that you, not fighter, but another ranged unit, probably like Greed, Hotset, Maul, AI, however you want to say it. Either of those would work better in my opinion than what you have right now with Setchum. You have like a mixed team going, and I would just rather make this all an Inferno comp so that way everybody gets more boost, and then we'll move on to that'd be into your second plat. So right here it'd be your Nightmare plat for the most part, and then you do have Ajax, so he would fit into that comp very well, and that's what I got for you, man. It's more about positioning, work on your gear, obviously, but that'll come in time. So for your second team, this is going to be also up in front, and it's going to be your Infernal team. So we would have Lyra at the box, Lyra or Setrum. So pick one or the other, but you can also, swap this stuff around and do whatever you want, man. But I would put them down here on the furthest down tile. Lyra or Setrum. Eloin would be right above them, facing forward towards the spawn point. And then you would have Zillatu. I'd use Regulus. Regulus is a better tank. And he also revives damage mitigation. And then Soul Cadence would go up top, facing downward. So, because that way Soul Cadence can also hit behind him. So if someone gets past, then he might be able to hit like before they go down and get to the spawn point. But all right, guys, that's what I have for you. Hopefully everybody learned something or at least appreciated the time and the effort that it took. I do everything on my phone, so it does take a while, guys. Peace out. Omni Kai out. Have fun, y'all.